Good evening, it is just after 8 o'clock and now it is time for the moment I've been waiting for. It's time to meet the Woman of the Week, and this week it's West End and Broadway actress and recording artist Marisha Wallace. Marisha started her music career singing in her church as a young girl, and she went on to have a 15-year career in musical theatre. To date, she has starred in Aladdin and Book of Mormon on Broadway and Dreamgirls and Waitress in the West End. But during lockdown, she's been recording a new album to be released later in the month, but we began our chat at the start of her music career.
Well, I started in music when I was little because my whole family is musical. So we started singing in church. I grew up in like a very musical family. Like my dad played instruments. My mom was a singer. My grandma was a singer. My brother and sisters, everyone played instruments or sang. So that's kind of where I started. But then I went to university for music and to be a teacher, to be a music teacher. And I auditioned for the music school and I didn't get in. They were like, something's wrong with your voice. You didn't get in. And I was really upset. And then one of the professors like chased me down and was like, don't leave. I feel you have something. But we just got to figure out what's going on with your voice. And I thought it was because I had like practiced too much. But then I had to get vocal surgery when I was like 17 years old, which was so crazy. And from there, it kind of pushed me into musical theater world because I had to wait a year to audition. So it gave me time to recover. So they were like, do you want to do musical theater? And I was like, okay. And at that time, I knew of Broadway and stuff, but I hadn't gone to a show or I didn't grow up with this. So, so that's how I kind of fell into musical theater. And right after college, I just started working right away. And I did every kind of job, like theme parks and cruise ships and tours, and then finally Broadway and the West End. And it's been an amazing journey. And then now music. So here we are, like another industry to conquer. So it's cool.
Yeah, I think when I was like looking at YouTube videos of you singing, and that one from Dreamgirls, Effie, that sings, and I'm telling you that's the one, and just how like powerhouse your voice is. I want to sing like that. Like, how do you learn to sing like that? Like, what do you do?
Well, my grandma had a really powerful voice, like a loud, strong, powerful voice. And she got cancer when I was like at 10 years old. And I was very, very close to her. Like I spent every night with her while she was sick, like my whole fourth grade year. And she lost her voice from the cancer. And she told me, she was like, you have the gift, like, be my voice, So I get my big voice from her. I trained with an opera singer who taught me how to really project my voice in a way that it wasn't painful, but it still had a lot of power and body. So I have the technique of an opera singer, but like the style of a gospel singer. That's what I get from my grandma. So that's kind of how I train, definitely, but there's talent and technique there, so that's good.
Yeah, I can't sing for toffee. Like I'm not a singer. I'm not musical at all. But music for me is something that like I'm obsessed with.
Good.
It's awesome, isn't it? I guess you're kind of the same, aren't you? But you just get paid for it as well.
I literally, that's what's been great about the lockdown is that now I'm doing it because I love it and not because I have to or because, it's my job or whatever. And that's kind of where my album came out of, me just doing it because I loved it. And then from there, a record deal came. It's so funny how when you finally just do it because you love it, then everything that you wanted to get from it in the first place actually starts happening. So I think that was a big lesson that I learned over the lockdown. Is just do it because you love it. And I've always done it because I loved it. But just to have this time to just devote to it was so great.
Mm-hmm. Are there any kind of like artists that you're like just obsessed with at the moment that you just keep listening to? Anyone who's on your playlist at the moment? What kind of stuff are you listening to?
Oh, well, I've just discovered Jessie Ware, who I love. And she's like a UK artist, so I hadn't really heard about her in America. But here, like, she's amazing, so good. And then Emily King, who's an amazing U.S. artist, singer-songwriter, and of course Sarah Bareilles, who I got to work with. She does a lot of stuff with Emily King as well. Lots of like singer-songwriter. I love like the real music. I miss real music. That's why it's been like I've been getting such great responses to my music, because they're like, oh my gosh, singers who really, really sing, like, and not just rap or like half sing or speak sing, but like really sing. That's kind of been lost. So it's kind of nice to get that back. And those are the people that I've been really listening to.
Mm-hmm. Who would you say is like your favorite woman in music? Because I want to play a song by your favorite woman in music. What song should I play?
My favorite woman in music is Chaka Khan. And you should play, oh God, there's so many. I would play I'm Every Woman because it's classic. Or you could play Sweet Thing. That's a good one.
What is it about like Chaka Khan that you love so much?
I love that Chaka never limited her voice for pop. Like usually in pop, they want you to bring it down or tone it down or keep it small so the production can shine. But she still let it like ring high. She would sing as high as she wanted to, as low as she wanted to. But it was still very musical.
West End actress and singer Marisha Wallace is my Woman of the Week. Here's the second part of the interview.
What kind of stuff have you been up to during lockdown? I know it's been quite a difficult time for the people in the musical theatre community.
Well, I did a lot in the very beginning, so much. First, I was teaching a lot. I took on a lot of students because I teach people how to sing. And then I took that to TikTok and I started making 15-second voice lessons, and it blew up. So I have like 91,000 followers of singers from around the world who I'm teaching to sing, which is so cool. Well, I was like, oh, this is crazy. So I've made like this little community of singers. And it's a really like a positive community of singers, because I feel like singing is so subjective and people feel bad about their voices and feel very criticized. And I was like, I want everyone to sing, because even if you're not singing to be, a star, singing is just good for you. Like it's therapy, and people need that right now. So I did that. And then I recorded my whole album in lockdown from my living room. So all of the songs that you hear, I did all the choir arrangements. I was every single voice. I was vocal arranging it. I was vocal producing it in my house. So I was really busy in this lockdown. And I also learned to play guitar, because I was learning a little bit before, and then now I've had like so much time to just play. So that's what I did. And I rested. That was another thing. I had been going for so many years, like, thank God, blessed to have been working. But sometimes you need a break, and there was supposed to be no break at all. Like I was supposed to go straight to Hairspray. And at the time I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to do this, but my body and my voice, everything feels healed. So I'm excited to get back out there now.
One thing you have been doing though was the smiling sessions. So can you kind of talk to me about like what you did for that and what the smiling sessions were like all about? I just think it's so cute.
Yeah, so like, as I was saying, I've been teaching people to sing. A lot of people have been missing the entertainment as well, like not getting, the entertainment into their lives, because people usually go into nursing homes or in care homes to sing for people, give them entertainment. But because of COVID, the care homes haven't been getting any of that, and nothing from their families, and no one can go in. So the Smiling Sessions is a group that is making videos for these elderly people to be able to have entertainment. And I put the words on the bottom of the screen so they can sing along with them. And it's like tunes that they know. So I sang Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? But we did the Amy Winehouse version, so it was kind of cool. And they love it. And it's so good for them. And they can watch it on their own time. So if they want to just like turn it on their iPads or whatever, or they can watch it together, it's just a really nice thing to take care of our elderly people, because I mean, a lot of them have been sheltering for 9 months with no contact. So to have this little outlet to be like, hi, we're here, we care about you. It's really, really nice.
Was there any kind of personal connection as well why you decided to do that?
I used to actually go my grandma was a minister, and we would go to the nursing homes when I was little, when I was about 5, and we would like go. I remember the smell. I remember the people. And I remember being little and being like, I don't know if I want to go here. And then I'm so glad that I did, because I feel like doing that when you're little just gives you empathy and respect for your elders. And it just made me feel like I was giving back like how I used to when I was little. And then also I took care of my own grandma when I was 9, and I would sing to her, and I would like sleep in her bed and watch movies with her. And it just felt like I was connecting back to my own grandma again.
It's what we all need, isn't it? Because I guess now, like, people in the care homes again, they're going to be not being able to see their families, are they?
Yeah, so we're going back in lockdown again, and they need that entertainment and that outlet. Music is therapy. Like, I hate that we have almost turned music into like this commodity, but now it's kind of like going back to what it originally was, which is to like help people and to like give them hope and inspiration. And that's kind of what my album is all about as well. It's just like hope, inspiration, love. I recorded tomorrow, and it has just gone out to so many people and got so many messages about it. Healed me, it helped me. And that's what music should be about, I think.
One song I saw you released is My Declaration. And when I was listening to it, it felt like it was quite personal to you, because it's quite like slow and really kind of like intimate.
Well, My Declaration, someone sent me that song and they were like, this is an amazing song, you need to cover it. And I listened to it and I was like, oh my God, this is like how we all feel right now. We are trapped in our homes and we want to help and we want to do something, but we don't know how. And we want to find that inner strength to get back out in the world and not be scared, but to almost go back out different than how we came in. Because especially with all the things that have gone on in the world, and also that song is great for LGBTQ people who are out there who can't come out, because that was a big thing for me. Because I'm from North Carolina and it's still very homophobic there. And there's family members that I have who have had to go into the closet multiple times and like haven't been able to be truly who they want to be. And that song is like, this is my declaration. This is who I am. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be better. I'm going to live my life without all those, things stopping me from being my true self. And that's kind of what it's about. And I feel like I want to be my true self as well. I felt like I spent a lot of time being what other people wanted me to be. And then when I started to actually just be myself, everything I ever wanted came to me. And I think that's what that song's about. It's about just finding that truth and being able to stand in it. This next song is a song that's very close to my heart. It's about finding your inner voice and your inner strength and standing in your truth. This is My Declaration.
I can't keep running.
What a voice Marisha Wallace has. She is my Woman of the Week this week. And so far, we've chatted about her musical theatre career and what she's been up to during lockdown. And one of the things that she's been doing during lockdown is exploring another avenue of her career in being a recording artist. Marisha got a record deal in lockdown after releasing the classic song from Annie, Tomorrow, for charity. And ever since she landed the deal, she's been making an album of the same name. Tomorrow it was going to be out on the 27th of November, so watch out for that one. And just to warn you, this final part of the interview, there is a mention of suicide.
So every song that's on that album is all the moods and all the phases that I went through during this crazy time. in my life where where the Black Lives Matter movement happened. I was recording Before I Go, and then a close family member of mine tried to commit suicide during the lockdown, and I was recording Purple Rain, and then like it was just like all these songs, and then I recorded Free at the end of the lockdown, which was like, oh, I'm free to live my life. So it was almost like it's like a little time capsule of what we went through, but it also gives you hope, inspiration. It has a song for every kind of emotion that you're going through. And then also it's every genre. Like we have country on there. We got some pop on there. We got some gospel on there. We got, Broadway songs on there. So we really wanted to stretch what we thought that the population thought that Black women can do. We only ever heard one kind of style of music from Black women. It's either rap or whatever, but we wanted to stretch that and be like, we can do multiple styles, multiple genres. So it's exciting, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the whole thing. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from with the whole like Black women being pigeonholed into a certain genre. Because I've seen it myself. I'm working on a podcast about that very issue right now. In light of all like the kind of Black Lives Matter movement and everything, I'm guessing like, has your identity been put into these songs a lot? How important is that for you to write about?
It's very important because that with the Black Lives Matter movement hit me really hard because it is something that I've dealt with my whole life. And I just kind of like, it's just kind of a secret thing that we never spoke about to other people. We just talked about it amongst ourselves. And for that to come out was just so exposing and like made everyone feel just like opening an old wound. And so it kind of felt like. And so the music really helped me because there's a song that I just got out now. Well, it's out on as a single, Before I Go. It's record of the week for BBC Radio 2, which is so exciting. But that song is all about your name and your legacy. And the Black Lives Matter movement was all about saying the names of the victims, to say the names. And the name means that it's actually a human life. Because when you see deaths, you're like, oh, it's 200 deaths or whatever. But when you see the names, it makes it real. And it's like, what do I want to be remembered for? I want someone to remember me when I go. I want someone to know, to think that my life is important. And that's kind of what it's all about. I think it's just been blown up into all these other things. But what at the essence of the whole movement is to just say, my life we're equally as important as yours. Like we are all important. And to say the name and to like feel like you are a human that matters. That's what Before I Go is about. We all want that. We all want to leave a legacy behind. And I think now we're trying to decide what side of history we're going to be on when it all shakes out. Like, are you going to be on the side of the nice, kind, giving, helping, donating, sharing, doing what you can? Or are you going to be on the other side?
I'm just in love with that song personally, Before I Go, because I think I play it like multiple times a day at the moment. It's just like, the beat of it, just like, you just feel like you can nod your head to it,
Yeah, that's a good one.
A head nodder, like kind of like a hit the table whilst you sing along kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But before I play that song, what would be like your highlight of your career so far? 'Cause you've done so much, like
Wow.
Dreamgirls and Waitress, Book of Mormon, and just...
This album, I think, is my career highlight only because this was my dream from the start. Like, I always wanted to be a recording artist, a singer. I fell into the other things, but this was the thing that I wanted to do my whole life. So getting a record deal was kind of what I've always wanted since I was 15 years old. Like, I did my book report on Whitney Houston when I was 9 years old. So I've kind of always wanted to have an album and have a record label and like do that whole thing. So this has been definitely a huge highlight of my career. And also because I feel like I am doing what my grandmother asked me to do, was to be her voice and to spread the message and be a role model. Like, to have this platform to show that Black women are excellent and that we can do so many more things than what they think we can.
Do you think like in the future you'll keep on doing like being a musician and being a songwriter and singer, or do you think musical theatre will always be part of who you are?
I think it'll always be there. I definitely want to explore this side of my career more because I did musical theater for 15 years. So, but I'm definitely going back. I'm about to do Hairspray in March. So it's always going to be there. And I love my musical fan base. Like that's who have carried me all the way here. If it wasn't for them, like I wouldn't even be here. So I love my musical fans. So I have to get back on stage for them because they want to come see me. So, and it's another good way to like really connect face to face because, you know, you hear before I go by yourself in your room and I don't even know how you like it or whatever. But if I perform, then I know immediately that you liked it. So I'm excited to do that again.
It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I feel like you're my most exciting woman of the week yet. Just I'm stoked to be putting this on the air. But before I go, see what I did there. Can you introduce a song before I go for Gorgeous FM?
So this next song is all about your legacy and about what you want to be remembered for. This is Before I Go.
I can't tell you how much I adore that song. Before I Go, that is by this week's Woman of the Week, Marisha Wallace, here on the Women in Music show on Gorgeous FM. And Marisha Wallace's album, Tomorrow, will be out on the 27th of November, and you can pre-order it now on marishawallace.com. I definitely will be doing that. And if you want to follow Marisha's journey, you can follow her on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. Her handle is Marisha Wallace, on all lowercase, on pretty much all the socials. And I really want to thank Marisha for her time and for everyone in her team who made that interview happen. It was an absolute privilege to chat to her.